Hi Pisces, welcome to your Single and Ready to Mingle 2018 love reading. Now, I took a couple of minutes to just write down a spread to use for this. So I've got my paper in front of me and I'm shuffling my Wild Unknown tarot cards because I'm going to use that in the spread. I will let you know what each card represents, what position, after I've, laid down the cards and I'm starting to pick it. So just bear with me. Interesting. Let's see. Okay. I said interesting because I rarely get reverse cards lately. Now I'm getting a couple of reverse cards. Probably held the deck down. If I get one more reverse card, I'm going to check the... Now this is going to have two cards, so I'm going to just pick right now. Okay. I'm turning over the deck because I guess I hit it all. I allow myself a few. And then because you do make mistakes too, so. Even when I did that, it still came up reversed. So we're going to see what happens. And the outcome. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, so let us look at these cards. And by the way, I just want to say, in case you didn't hear my explanation on how I deal with reverse cards, I do read reverse cards, and there's a very good reason for that. If you believe in synchronicity, you believe that everything is happening for a reason. And there are interpretations for reverse cards. Sometimes a reverse card is more positive than the upright position. So you can't just make a blanket statement that all reverse cards are negative, because they're not. And the other thing about this, the reason I have it both ways, and then I look at the bottom of the deck and see what's going on, is because I don't think everything is just cosmic. Sometimes I think we do boneheaded things. Like in my case, I probably started shuffling the deck upside down, and then I split them into different piles, and they were all upside down. Although I must say that the first card I got was upright. And then even when I looked at the bottom of the deck and then shuffled again, I got a reversed card. So I think it's going to be a very interesting, enlightening reading. One other thing that I want you to know about my readings, and this is also true in my private readings, Pisces, is that I believe in self-actualization. I'm not one of these people who's a fortune teller who is going to have you sit back and hear about all these things are going to happen and you don't have to lift a finger and you just can go on about your merry way. I think that we have the responsibility for what happens to us in life. We may not be able to control every event that happens. I won't go that far. But I do feel that too many people blame outer forces when they can't find someone, and they don't consider whether or not they're doing something that is pushing people away or whether they are picking the wrong person, So that's where I'm going with these. Self-improvement, self-actualization, self-empowerment. So the first position is the central challenge to you finding love. This is the Two of Wands. And it's funny because the symbol of Pisces is two fish that are swimming in opposite directions. And all of the mutable signs are called dual signs because they have duality as their symbol. So the mutable signs are the Pisces, the fish. You have the twins with Gemini. With Sagittarius, you have half man and half horse. and with, what's the other, and with Virgo, the virgins. So it's interesting that I got 2 of Wands for you because of that duality that you already have. The 2 of Wands represents not being sure whether you want to be where you are. And this could be something that you've been kicking around in your head, Pisces, that there's somewhere else that you ought to be. And I'm talking about like physical relocation in some cases. And if that's the case, and you feel very drawn to move or relocate, whatever you want to call it, ask yourself what is keeping you here. Because there are people, like think of all the people who meet their life partner when they are not living in their hometown. I mean, it might even be the majority of people. I don't know. But sometimes that's exactly what you need to do in order to position yourself to meet, have these moments of destiny. Because I do think that the people that we meet on our path we're destined to meet. I don't think they're just random people. For some of you, you may just have this kind of a nature of ambivalence. And I think this is quite true for Pisces. I think it's because you're ruled by Neptune. And you tend to over-idealize everything. And life probably rarely meets up with your fantasies or matches up to your fantasies. And this can make you kind of fickle in love sometimes. Even though you're a very compassionate individual, you may lack commitment to someone because there's something about them that isn't following that fantasy. And especially as a relationship gets more serious, you may feel like all of the glamour is gone. And then you're left looking for a new relationship. And it could become a vicious cycle if you're not careful. Excuse me. So, because you're ruled by Neptune, you always have to check in with yourself and make sure that that you don't have unreasonable expectations of another person. Because another facet of Pisces is a kind of a passive attitude, where you may idealize your partner and it's almost like they're there to save you from yourself, like you're the damsel in distress. And even if you're a man, you're the damsel in distress. Where it's like this, like you like don't own your own power, and you kind of project it onto somebody else, and as a result you end up feeling rather like you're dependent on that person to give you a sense of safety, a sense of feeling loved, or what have you. And so those are things that you have to kind of work out within yourself, that you're not looking for another person in order to take care of you, but you just want to really be what the number 2, the highest vibration of that is where 2 people are whole and they're coming together and they create this separate reality, but they are also whole within themselves. It's not like one withers and dies if they don't have the other. Now the second card is the history. I gotta see what card this is. Oh, this is Temperance in reverse. Okay, oh, I love this card. You know, because I haven't gotten it yet. This is such a new deck. Isn't this beautiful? Those colors. Oh my goodness. And I don't know what this is supposed to be. If this is supposed to be like, it looks like kind of peacock feathers. But it's funny because that's the history. I swear, if I had an editing thing that was easy, I would edit out all these things with my throat, but I can't do it, so sorry about that. So for the history, we're looking at background of what makes you the way that you are, and doesn't surprise me one bit, because the Temperance card in reverse can indicate addiction. And whether this is something that you're dealing with, which Neptune, it does, one of the key words is addiction, and, in addition to illusion. But if this isn't you, you may come from a family of addiction, and this is very common with Pisces, that they come from, that they're adult children of alcoholics and things of that nature. It doesn't have to be the sun in Pisces either. And I've read extensively about adult children of alcoholics, and a lot of times, and it doesn't have to be alcohol, by the way, but just that's the most common one. One of the biggest facets of that is really feeling responsible for the parents drinking and reliving that dynamic in adult relationships. In other words, gravitating towards people who are problematic in order to do for them what you couldn't do for your parent, and just being in caretaker mode. Pisces is a very compassionate sign. When you see people in trouble, your heart automatically goes out to them, possibly more than somebody who has it all together, because you know that the other person is in pain, and you're a natural healer. So it's something that you have to like pick a partner very wisely, and that involves taking time to get to know them in various situations to see if they handle stress well, if they might have addictive tendencies that could really mire you in a very negative situation, that you really can't control somebody else's addiction. It's a myth to think that you can. People have tried so hard to do that, and all that ends up happening is that you are codependent, and this can make you like lose your dreams in life because you're so busy being caught up in somebody else's problems. So if you wanna have a successful future relationship, really pick well. Watch those red flags. How can you heal from? This is the Hangman. This is actually your card. I like that. I like that they had a bat, because I think bats are so cute. This is the reverse position of the Hangman, and it's not a negative thing. Sometimes it can mean useless sacrifice. In other words, being the martyr, which is a shadow aspect of Pisces. And so that's something to watch out for, is that you believe that you're deserving of love. If you understand the law of attraction, Pisces, and I think that some of you do, you know that your thoughts are things, you know that your feelings are things, and that you have to get them in order to attract the right person. So the Hangman can be about understanding how you trip yourself up. Also, it can be about maybe you're not on the dating scene. Maybe you've been holding back too long, and now it's time to get out there and circulate. And maybe you've been afraid to because you've been hurt in the past. But how else is that going to happen for you? So I picked a couple of cards that describe where you can find this person and what they might be like, things. I wrote down who, what, when. They're both in the reverse position. So Seven of Pentacles reversed and the Four of Cups reversed. I love this Four of Cups. I got this in another reading. It's so weird. I mean, some of these cards are actually kind of creepy, but I don't know. I like them. For one thing, the fact that these are both reversed, the when it may not be the right time for whatever reason. You are, I'm recording this in late January. A lot of people may watch this in February. This will be a period of time until your solar return where you have the sun in the 12th house and other planets there. And you may not even be in a social mood. When the sun crosses over and it's your birthday, you will start to feel like you're waking up again. And that might be more of the time, or your new moon in March 17th. But it's interesting, one of these cards is Pentacles and one is Cups. Pentacles connect with earth signs, Cups with water signs, and both are very compatible with you because they're feminine signs, and they are kind of coming from the same place overall. They may be more introverted, kind of like you. They may be more family-oriented, home-oriented, and so right away you'll be on the same page. If you fall in love with an Aries person, for instance, that person may get exasperated if you would rather be at home than go to a party. And I'm sure there's some Pisces people that enjoy parties, but a lot of water sign people enjoy the company of close friends and family rather than big gatherings with people they don't know. They just prefer the intimate gatherings. So you may meet somebody that's a combination of these things, that's water and earth. And it's also possible that the timing of this is around the time of your new moon of March 17th, or the new moon of Taurus, which happens to be on May 15th. And the outcome, it's interesting because this card does connect with Taurus, the Empress, but also with Libra. But I think this is you, and this is the card of love. This is the card of abundance and financial abundance and femininity. This is the card of the mother and the Earth Mother. So I feel that love is on its way, Pisces, and it's just a matter of time for you. And again, you may need to heal from something in order to have this, to bring this out into your reality. One thing I can tell you that may make you happy is that there's going to be a solar eclipse in your 5th house of romance, and this is happening on July 12th. At 20 degrees of Cancer. So maybe it's that, maybe that's what the cups are referring to, is that it's that solar eclipse. But now, you know, if you're watching in the winter in the in the northern hemisphere, the summer in the southern hemisphere, it might not be the time. It might be that you still have some work to do within yourself. But never give up hope that you can find the person of your dreams, because the more I think you get in a good vibration about it, I think the more likely it's going to happen for you in a quicker way. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below, Pisces. Take care of yourself. Bye.